So I just closed another client for my AI agency, and I want to go through what we pitched him, why it was such an easy close, and what you can actually do in your next sales call to guarantee that you actually close your first client. The first thing was to really understand what his pain point was. And for him in particular, he was working with a marketing agency, but he just was realizing that the creative angles that they were using were just not cutting it. And hence his ads were getting fatigued and he was just losing out on leads week on week. In order to get good creative angles, you really need to understand your ICP. One system that I sort of ideated on was generating 30-second voice memos from himself and actually just documenting anything interesting that he found with a patient, but in particular, how they thought about their pain and why they actually kind of came into the clinic. And by doing that for a week, we would get 5 fresh, real-world angles that we could use in our creatives. From there, we'd actually generate the 20 angles. All I would do is give AI that information with a custom prompt that I had, generate 3 to 5 hooks with proven archetypes from the ad library. And from there, I could actually generate 20 angles and kind of then move on to the next phase. Now, once we had the angles, the next thing was actually generate the creatives. We agreed on image statics, UGC videos, and carousels. Now, for videos, which would be our main platform, we agreed on a 50-50 split. 50% would be AI UGC, 50% would be him. The most important thing is to get your client to come and speak on the camera. It's proven to be the best content to target your ICP. And once you can agree for him to come on the camera, you can then clone him too using like certain software. And then you can split test faster using AI. And once you find the winners, you then use him to actually speak about those winners. And hence now you have a flywheel where you do the heavy lifting for him and he only focuses on the winners. Now, once we do that, we would just start posting on Meta ads and warming up his Instagram page. You need to be leveraging as many socials as you can, because once you do that, you will actually notice your cost per lead start to reduce. Once you actually launch your creatives, you test for 3 days and you kill losers fast. And then all you do is you double down on your winners before they fatigue. This creates this flywheel because every time you're doubling down on your winners, you're learning and you're logging them. So now you know what to focus on week. So as you can see, it creates this flywheel which goes around and around and around, and it creates this amazing content machine. Why we were able to close this client was purely because I identified on the sales call that it wasn't, a generic AI solution that I needed to sell him. It was generating fresh creatives week on week. I could have easily sold him on like a speed to lead agent or like a Google reviews bot, but I noticed that he didn't have any gaps there. And if they don't have gaps there, you shouldn't be selling that as a service to your client. They won't want to buy from you. But with this, it was custom made to him. We were able to work on it together. And once we did that, it was a very easy close because he felt like he'd also invested in this idea as well. So if you have any questions as to how I came up with this and whether, or even if this even applies to your business, just leave a comment below and I'll make sure to get back to you.